Welcome back to the channel, YouTubers. Look at this beauty. I picked this up second hand. Need a little bit of work, but not a lot. It's the Barnett Commando Crossbow. It did need a new string, a little bit of a clean up, but that was pretty much it. I chucked a sling on it, and I did put a new limb on it. Now it did come with the original, the beastly 220 pound. Oh, it's focusing on that. There you go. 220 pound draw weight, original Barnett prod or limb. The problem is it's a 40-year-old bow, and that is a beast of a limb, a 220 pound fiberglass limb. And whilst I did get a new string, I did string the original limb. It had lost the original end caps. That's an original end cap there, only had one. The original string was broken, so I ordered a new one. But I fashioned these end caps on. I've had to cut them to make them. Ooh, focus on that. Yeah, I've had to cut them to make them fit. And yeah, I strung it with this original limb. But my God, 220 pound draw weight. That is a hefty pull. And whilst it did cock, I was sort of, you know, cringing as I creaked this 40-year-old bow back to lock it in, fired it, and just a thunderous bang. It worked, but I just thought, you know what, 40-year-old limb, I don't need 220 pound draw weight. I'm just going to get a brand new prod because it's 40 years old, this bow. So I got a new prod stroke limb. It's just a genuine sort of a standard Jaguar type limb. This was 150 pound draw weight, so I've gone from 220 down to 150, which is much more usable poundage, and it crocks lovely now. The only thing I've had to do is to just work on the depth. If you look at the depth of the original Barnett limb, it's actually it's deeper than the Jaguar one, but not a problem. I just zoom in. Got some leather spacers. It's got obviously the metal plate rubber backed at the front. At the back it's got the rubber plate at the back, but I've just spaced it out top and bottom with a bit of a leather belt, just to make sure it's central to the bolt and doesn't move about. It's as tight as a drum. Lovely. But if we have a look at the brass work, it's beautiful. I'll give it a little wipe over with a bit of Brasso just to give it a shine, but I haven't had to do anything else. All the black paint work is as new, so it's 40 years old. Yeah, beautiful. I put a little compact scope on it, 4x32. Like I say, a new string, sling. Just put a sling on it, some sling swivels. That's basically it. Got some new bolts, little 14-inch bolts or 14.5-inch bolts. But yeah, that's all I've done. Now I have test fired it just to make sure it's all working. Oh, I cleaned up the mechanism and the trigger. But it's hardly been used. The guy I bought it from, he literally said back in the mid-80s he got it on kind of like a whim. Shot it a few times, ruined all the bolts. They're all bent up, they're aluminium ones. He's also been shooting into hard surfaces, trees and stuff. And then the string snapped. So it just went in the loft and it stayed there till I bought it. He was moving house, found it in the loft, thought, oh, better sell that. And I happened to be in the right place, right time. I had to do a 150-mile round trip to go and pick it up. 75 miles there, 75 miles back, but absolutely worth it. It hasn't got the box and paperwork. If it did, it'd be worth somewhere in the region of £500–600. I paid 100 quid for it. It's worth at least, I'd say, this condition with that limb, about £300. But I'm not looking to sell it. I had one of these before about 10 years ago. If you go back through my videos, I had another Barnett Commando, and not as good condition as this, and I did that one up, and down my club, my archery club I was at, I was testing it down there, and someone offered me money for it. I went, no, I don't want to sell it, I'm going to keep it. But they offered me really good money for it, and I sold it. But as soon as I sold it, I regretted it, and I thought, if another one comes up, especially one with a 220 pound limb, I will be buying it to keep as a collector's. And here it is. there she is. I'm going to do a little bit of shooting in the garden, but I'm going to take it down to my field archery club, because it will actually, I've checked it, it will actually be okay to use. Minimum bolt length for NFAS, National Field Archery Society, is 14 inches, which they are, 14 and a half. Less than 500 grain, they're about, what are they? I did write it down. 381 grain, so they're 381 grain. Actually, they're 15 inch with the points. They're 15 inches long, 381 grain, and also mustn't be more than 300 feet per second. Well, with this limb, it's 220, so that's good, and that's about 40 foot-pounds or 55 joules. So, oh, the other thing is with NFAS, you can't have a separate cocking aid. Okay, however, this you can have a cocking rope, so you could put a foot on it and use a rope, but this is actually self-cocking, so technically it doesn't use a cocking aid. All right, it's a self-cocking crossbow, so questionable, but I think that still fits within an FAS rules. So yeah, I'll be taking it down the club and testing it out. If I had the two 20-pound limb on it, it would still be okay for an FAS, because that would be 240 pounds draw weight, 15-inch bolts the same, 381 grain the same, so it could still shoot, but with that limb, the effort it takes to cock it, and the targets down at the club, it's just gonna be impossible to pull them bolts out. So I think, to be honest, a 100-pound limb would have been okay. I was going to try and get a 90 or 100-pound limb, but all I could find was the 150. So that's what it's got on it. Well, I'm going to get it all set up now for some shooting, and I'll also add the club shoot when I've finished. I forgot to mention, okay, on the early Commandos, they would grip the string here, but they never had the plastic string protectors on it, so I put a couple of bits of rubber tube on there on both sides to protect the string. Okay, like I said, the late 80s, early 90s, they actually designed to have the plastic string protectors on there, but I put a bit of rubbing tubing on there, which, you know, does the job. Also, a decent string helps, and plenty of rail wax. So let's give it a blast in the garden here. There's two ways of cocking. All right, from the instructions, this one way, you basically put the front end down, break it, and then just lean it forward and cock it. All right, that's like minimal effort, but I don't like the end being dug in the ground when you do that, so I might modify some kind of foot for the front to save the front end. That's one way of cocking it. I'll show you another way in a second. Okay, the other way is break it, I squat, put it on my knee, and cock it all the way back. Alright, so that's another way. There's a third way, I'll show you that as well, which I don't like at all. Like the third way, you put it in your leg, and then kind of cock it like that, which feels a bit weird. But each their own. There's three ways of cocking these bows, so you take your choices, whatever suits you. Right, it's hitting nice and hard, and haven't really sighted it in properly, but for testing purposes, it's alright, it's pretty good. So there you go. The Barnett Commando Crossbow, 150 pound draw weight, 15 metres, in my back garden. What a classic, what an iconic classic bow from the 80s.
you.